And we're back. If you remember last time, I was showing you some things that was awesome for Mr. Newbold, like graduating magna cum laude, bachelor's degree. What's this? What's this bigger? What's this bigger certificate? So this bigger certificate is my master's degree. I graduated from American Public University and got a master's degree in education, secondary education, and online teaching. Woo! That's why I'm trying to make Canvas good for you and videos. Because I did my master's degree in online teaching. So I had a meeting, and in that meeting, we learned to teach you a little differently this year compared to last year. Still works. Still works. Still gets the right answer, right? Still get the right answer. So for example, if you have 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. So it still works. Across from 30 is the short leg. And so, yeah, so we can call this 1.5 and radical 3 over 2. But easier. Easier? How do you spell easier? So easier if you use instead. So easier if you use instead. Across from the 30 degrees, it'll be just 1 this time. We're going to label that as 1 instead of the hypotenuse. And that means that if you go ahead and double it, that's going to give you, so double the short leg, gives you the hypotenuse. So that'll be 1 times 2, which is just 2. So we have a 1, 2. And then if this is the short leg, which it is, going to the long leg, do you remember? We take our long leg and we times it by radical 3. So it's a 1, 2, radical 3 triangle for 30, 60, 90, for 30, 60, 90. So maybe don't use this anymore. And maybe I didn't teach it to you this year. Maybe I taught you the right way. They're both right. They both work. But this is a little more simpler is what our math department meeting we discussed. Nice. So also with the 45, 45, 90 right triangle. So if it is a 45, 45, 90 right triangle, instead of using radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over, not radical 2 over 2, yeah, radical 2 over 2, we're going to use 1, 1, and radical 2 for the hypotenuse and for the legs, right? So let's give that a try. So we're going to go ahead and draw a 150-degree angle. Woo! And so 150 degrees goes all the way to about there as our 150 degrees. So there's our 150 degrees. Now we're going to draw the reference angle. So the reference angle is the angle to the x-axis. And so 180. So what's that difference from 150 to 180? It's about 30, right? Is that about a 30-degree difference? And so this is going to be a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. 30, 60, 90 right triangle. So across from the 30 degrees, we're going to go and call that the opposite side. Closest to 30 degrees will be the adjacent side. And then, of course, this is the hypotenuse. And now we're going to use not this anymore. We're now going to use this. So it's 1, 2, radical 3 right triangle. So across from 30 is 1, and that's going up 1, so it is a positive 1. And then adjacent, so that'll be across from the 60 degrees, and so that'll be radical 3. But we are going left, and so left means negative. Left means negative, so that one is definitely going to be negative. And then hypotenuse is going to be 2. Hypotenuse will be 2. So what is tangent again? Tangent of 150 is opposite over adjacent. And so opposite is a positive 1 over adjacent, which is a negative radical 3. So that's going to be 1 over negative radical 3. Don't forget to rationalize the denominator. So that's going to be, let's see, so negative 1 over radical 3, doesn't matter where the negative is. You're going to times it by radical 3 to the top and bottom. This is called rationalizing the denominator. So now we get negative radical 3 over, because 1 times radical 3 is negative radical 3. And then we got 3 times 3 is 9, and the square root of 9 is 3. Woo! Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so then let's try the odds now. Try the odds, now you kind of got those down. So number 19 is going to be secant. And so secant is 1 over cosine. So that's actually going to be hypotenuse over adjacent. So now we draw negative 120 degrees. So negative is going to go down towards Hades. Woo! Whoa! Better be good so you don't go, so you're not a negative angle. Whoa! So down here is going to be negative 90 degrees. So we have negative 10, negative 20. So negative 20 is about there. It's negative 120 degrees. Good. Okay, so now we want to draw our reference triangle. So we're going to draw this reference triangle there. There it is. Reference triangle, good. Okay, so how much more, how much more, so how much more is, how much more to what? How much more to negative 180? That's kind of called the reference angle, right? It's called the reference angle. And so, how much more to negative 180? How much more? It's going to be 60 degrees. Remember, the reference angle is always positive, always and forever, each moment with you. Always positive. Okay, so across from the 60 degrees is opposite side. And then we have adjacent. And then we have hypotenuse, right? So remember when we're using 60 degrees, we use 60 degrees, that the long leg is radical 3, which is 60 degrees. And so this will be radical 3. However, we are going left, so it will be a negative radical 3. It'll be negative. Okay, and then the adjacent, which is the short side will be 1, but it's negative 1, so we're going left and down. Sorry, we're going left, which is negative, and then we're going down. So both negative. Both negativo. And the hypotenuse is going to be 2. Okay, we did it. That's it. Label your triangle. We can do it now. So hypotenuse is 2. Hypotenuse is also always positive. Is also always positive. Good. So hypotenuse 2 over adjacent, and adjacent is negative 1. So that's going to equal negative 2 is our answer. Now there's a way to check using your calculator. Use secant, which is 1 divided by cosine of negative 120. And we got negative 2, so we did it right. But some of them aren't that easy, so we got to not use a calculator. That was just to check our answer. Okay, so you try now. Pause me. Pause me. You try. You try. Try 20. Right? Try 21. Give it a try. Pause me. So now we're going to go ahead and do 225 degrees. Where's that? Well, this is 0, 90, 180, 270 is too far. 270 is too far, so what's halfway? 225 is halfway between. So now we draw a right triangle. But this time, instead of a 30, 60, 90, what is it? Well, what's the difference here? What do you think? So if we go 45 more, what will happen? That'll be 0, carry the 1. That'll be 270, which is this guy. So that means we have a 45, 45, 90 right triangle. Way-o. And this is opposite, this is adjacent, this is hypotenuse. Now remember, with the 45, 45, 90 right triangle, we're now going to be using 1, 1 for the leg, and then radical 2 for the hypotenuse. So it is going to be going left and down. Left and down means that's going to mean a negative 1 basically. So we're going to do a -1 and a -1. And hypotenuse is equal to radical 2. There we go. Okay, so what is cosine? What is cosine? Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent is -1 over hypotenuse, which is radical 2. And then you can't really plug that in your calculator, can you? So we got to do right triangles. Rationalize the denominator. So we're going to go ahead and bring this up to the top. So we get radical 2 over 2, and then get rid of the radical. There it is. So negative radical 2 over 2, or -0.707. So that's for number 21. So try 22 now. Try 22. So 23 is tangent. Do you remember what tangent is? What's tangent? Come on. What's tangent? What's tangent? So tangent is TOA. So opposite over adjacent. Draw your 120 degrees. So that's 90 degrees. So just a little bit more. Just a little bit more is 120 degrees. Well, what's the reference angle then? What's the reference angle? Wow, well, it's a lot there to get all the way down to here. Yeah, because this is 180 degrees. So how much more to get to 180? It's 60 more to get to 180, because 120 plus 60 is 180. So this is a 60, 30, 90 right triangle. So we'll keep on drawing that triangle. Cool. And so from the central angle, not 30 this time, 60, from the central angle, so this is the central angle, we're going to now call this will be the opposite side. This one will be the adjacent side. This will be the adjacent side. So then this one will be the hypotenuse. And now we're doing a 30, 60, 90, 60, 30, 90. So remember, always across from the 60 is the long leg, or radical 3. So this is going to be, and it's going up, so it'll be a positive radical 3 because we're going up. And so up means positive. Okay, so that's radical 3 for the opposite side. The adjacent side is what? The short leg. And so the short leg we'll just say is 1. So we'll go and say the short leg is 1. The opposite side is radical 3. And the hypotenuse is double it, so 2. So that's the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 2. So we want opposite over adjacent. So we're going to go opposite radical 3 over adjacent 1. So the answer is radical 3. Nice. So you try 24. You try 24. You got this? You got this. Keep on going. You got this. Okay, so hopefully you're getting the idea of it. Use 1, 2 radical 3, or use 1, 1 radical 2. Okay, there we go. So then we're working over here. Oh, that's my backwards. Did I go backwards? Where are we? So 9.2, boop, boop. Okay, here we go, 25. Okay, so this is tangent first. So that's finding a missing angle. Because -1 means missing angle. So, well, B is going to be opposite over adjacent because it's tangent. It's opposite over adjacent. So B must be opposite and A must be adjacent. That means this is the hypotenuse. Way-o. And so they're just asking for sine now. So what is sine? Well, sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. And so that's going to be opposite over hypotenuse, which is B over square root of A squared plus B squared. Not bad, not bad. This is a right triangle. And they want you to find which is the following equation we solve to find the measure of the angle. So this is the angle. They give us the height, which is 10. They also give us the radius, which is 3. So which trig function, sine, cosine, tangent, which trig function of the angle is equal to opposite over adjacent? Which one's opposite over adjacent? I'll let you figure that out. It's an even one. You got to figure it out. Which one is it? Which one is 10 over 3? Which one is 10 over 3? Which trig function? Cool. Okay, last one is 27. So they want us to know expressing the distance from the boat to the lighthouse. Like a lighthouse standing alone. What? Okay, so they give us an angle and they give us a side. So from our angle, this will be the opposite side. From the 90 degrees, this will be hypotenuse. That means this is adjacent. So they gave us adjacent and they want us to find x. So which one, do you remember? Say it out loud. Which one is adjacent? Say it. Which one is adjacent over hypotenuse? You remember? That's right, it's cosine. So cosine of 52 degrees is equal to adjacent, which is 30 over hypotenuse, which is x. And now we're going to go ahead and switcheroo. Not kangaroo, switcheroo. Switcheroo. So that means that we're going to go ahead and multiply by x over to this side, and then divide by cosine 52 over to this side. And that's going to be 30 over cosine 52. X equals that guy. And that's going to be 30 over cosine 52. Sweet. Thanks for watching. This is video number 2 because I taught it a little differently. New video, new year, new me. New quarter, new me. You got this. Get a higher grade this quarter. Thanks for watching. Peace out and bye for now. Bye for now.